catch on fire. Get your money, get your money. You don't find my singing lovingly and attractive?
No.
Call me old man Wade.
Damn you, old man!
Wait.
Old ass man.
Shut up, old man. You smell like fart.
No!
Old man.
He's so old, he got a podcast on cassette.
Fuck, you're old.
Damn it, Wade.
And welcome to the Old Man Wade Show. I am your host, the God of Stub and the Lord of Laughter, the tender and loving Old Man Wade. And I'm sitting here with my lovely wife. Normal enthusiasm as always. To my right, we got the CEO of Panda Care, Amanda.
Hey.
With actual enthusiasm.
I do.
And to my far left, a supporter of the show, my favorite niece, Ariana.
Hello.
Oh, look at that. She's happy to be here.
You know, if Amaya was a twin girl, the girl's name was going to be Ariana.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's twins.
And all of them have A names. Mm-hmm. We're only acknowledging
AM names. Amari, Amaya, Amir,
Oh, yeah.
Amanda.
You really had to think about that? You didn't believe her for a hot second?
I didn't. I had to think.
They're her kids, you know that, right?
They're not my kids.
No.
Not that I don't give a shit. It's just like...
No, I get it. In a friendly way.
In a friendly way, I don't give a shit about your children.
I don't give a shit about your kids right now. Who?
I friendly...
You know with love.
I friendly don't care.
Right.
I can't.
So, Amanda has a topic. Before we get into that, I something cracked me the fuck up over the last couple of weeks. So, Tekashi 6ix9ine has decided to cooperate.
Wasn't he cooperating anyway?
It was a rumor.
Didn't he start snitching when he was crying? Like, when they were like, you're going to do real time?
Well, that was the rumor, but we didn't have any, like, actual proof yet. Now he's officially, like, cooperating. So, here's my thing. I don't think people understand the concept between snitching and telling.
Okay.
If I see something, that's telling. Like, I'm doing my civil duty. If I'm in the drug game, that's snitching.
Well, yeah.
So he was allegedly in the drug game and murdering and, you know, all this other stuff.
And now he's snitching?
Now he's snitching.
That's because he's got millions of dollars now, Mike.
Millions of dollars. He ain't gonna be able to touch that shit anymore. They can, like, that's just
Yeah,
probably,
if
that's
you
just probably,
snitch, you get out of prison while your boys go to jail.
No, he's still going to jail.
He just gets less time.
Less time, yeah. And maybe a less rapey prison, you know. After the last video he did, I wouldn't want to go to prison.
For real.
That dude was deep throwing ice
like,
cream
why do you
cone.
think that's cool to, like, pretend you're deep throating the ice cream?
So, I only know about this guy via Twitter. Had no idea who he was before.
I just, like, he has a
He
look.
had that song with
Nicki Minaj.
I
He has
have
a
younger brothers who listen to mumble rap, so...
You know what's funny? Because
I
some
don't
of
listen to rap. I don't even listen to Nicki Minaj. I didn't know they had a song together.
no,
So
Nicki
all this
Minaj is
news.
trash, so, you know, I don't blame him.
So this is all news to me.
But some of Tekashi, I'm mixing Cardi and Tekashi. Some of Tekashi's songs go hard though. Like some of it's not mumble rap, but every time I go to listen to it, like I see the photo on my iTunes, and I see that face, and I'm like, nah.
He's the one with all the tattoos
on his face, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he literally has 69 and like 3-inch letters on his
He
cheek.
has 69 tattooed all over his body.
He's gonna have to be a rapper for the rest of his life. He can get a real job.
Let me tell you I'm tell you, in prison they gonna test that 69 theory.
Right.
I call this a peanut butter asshole sandwich.
peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jelly asshole sandwich. So you've never seen it before?
No.
Hold on, let me see. I actually have a picture.
No, I
No, she knows what he looks
is,
like. She just
but
never...
it was, I don't know, like, the whole thing that's going on, like, with the guy who Jay-Z is trying to get lawyers for, so because his visa or something.
Oh, the kid
21
getting...
Savage.
I don't know these people.
I've never heard of 21 Savage.
I don't really know who he is either.
I
He looks
learned about
funny.
this stuff off Twitter, and then I asked the kids about it. Like, some kid just
The
got
kids.
sent.
That makes you
yeah.
sound like an old lady. She said, I'm going to ask the kids.
I ask my kids. That's how I stay in the loop. I see it on Twitter, and so I don't look like I'm dumb. I ask people on Twitter, like, who is this? I ask my kids, like, yo, come here. Like the guy who just got sentenced for murder for killing someone last year. I don't remember.
Wait.
Yeah.
He's a rapper too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was
What are
like his
these
friends, right?
dumbasses doing?
And they try to make it look like it was a drive-by, but he murdered his friends.
XXXTentacion or whatever the hell his name
Oh,
was.
XXX Tentacion.
Yeah, there you go. I just
What is
extension.
that's not even English.
Tentacion.
That's his name. I swear to God, look up his name.
That's his real name though?
No, it's like his rap name.
But like why?
Because that's his rap name.
So yeah, and
Oh.
then when I saw it on Twitter, I was like, guys, who's da-da-da-da-da? And my son was like, he just got sentenced for murder. I was like, that's what I'm asking you, but who is it? I don't know. That's how I stay in the loop.
Yeah, he
These motherfuckers are stupid, huh?
well,
They clearly do not know how to kill people appropriately and not get caught like our rappers did.
yeah, well, you gotta remember a lot of our rappers, like, there's a code to it though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of these dudes really like have a code. Like, it's just.
Well, yeah, well, the rainbow hair, it is snitching now.
Hey, fun fact, Tentacion has an older sister named Ariana.
I bet it's not spelled like mine.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's because her parents
How's
probably
yours
knew how to
spelled?
spell.
Aryana.
Oh.
I've never met anybody who
Because
says
my
Ariana.
brother and his then
My lovely
girlfriend
mother.
apparently wanted to be unique. It's really one of those.
Yeah. Could have been Alize.
Yeah,
Could have been Alize.
My brother wanted to name her Alize, and I was like, absolutely fucking not.
Yep.
Yo,
You're not naming your child Alize.
Yeah, I would have been lit.
Alize and Deja was supposed to be Fantasia.
Yeah, we could have been like a
Alize and Fantasia.
Like stripper names.
Yeah.
It was a stripper name.
Could have gone and worked at a strip club, no problem. I could have had a whole different life.
Wouldn't even have to change your name.
I know.
And the best part about it, if some bartender goes, "Oh, some creep goes, what's your name?" Alize. Like, oh no, what's your real name? that's my real name, Daddy.
You're so gross.
I'm done. I'm leaving.
I mean, I don't think I would say like
Daddy
that, but
left.
like,
Yo, all I'm saying is, like, that's just.
Me and Mark had a whole conversation about the term daddy. I can't.
Did I do that on the show?
it.
Did I do that on the show?
No.
So-
we were
It was
just
on
talking
the
about
show.
it. Was
It
it on
was
the
on
show?
It wasn't you guys, but I did hear a show about people
It's so
using the
gross,
term
people
daddy.
talking about daddy.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. I think it's nasty. Like, I wouldn't want somebody to call me daddy
Well,
or mommy.
yeah, I've never actually called a woman like mommy or anything like that. Like that's. I've had a few like poppies and a couple of like like
I
of
don't
like
know, it
that.
just
But
freaks me out. If some dude was like, call me daddy, I'd be like, no, I'm going
well, I
home.
never said call me
That's
daddy.
just
They just did.
rapey. Like, it's just
Yeah.
gross. Like, it's,
Like, I don't have daddy issues like that, so we're gonna have to have a hard pass.
The one I said this line to Maria once, and she was just like, she said it was creepy, but Proof has a line. He goes, "Don't call me daddy, bitch. I feel better than your dad."
gross.
Well then.
It's gross and inappropriate.
I didn't make this up. I'm just saying, look, if that's what they're into, fine. That's perfectly okay. Like, you know what I mean? If they want to put me in a diaper and put a bottle in my mouth and fuck them, cool.
You'd really do that?
Yeah.
I can't stand you.
Why not?
It's great.
Fuck, I care for. I have one rule. My ass is an exit only. That's it. I'm good. Other than that, whatever. Someone over here paying bills or writing receipts.
Yeah, I'm writing receipts to my families before I forget.
How you gonna multitask on the show?
Bro, they can't see me. They only know because you snitched.
Snitch.
Since you in the game, you snitching. But if you were the outsider walking by, you would be telling. But you snitching right now.
I'm gonna fucking Snapchat this shit and fucking. Fucking over
What?
here.
You Snapchatting me doing business? Maybe people could get, some tips on how to multitask and be, what's the word, proactive and getting shit done,
Well, because people actually don't understand the concept of like business. Like they just think that it's all fun and games, and they don't actually
Listen, let me
like
tell you
practice it.
something. The amount of people that have said to me this week, Amanda, you look exhausted. I could be a billionaire off of that alone. But such is life. I'd rather work this hard for myself than work this hard for someone else.
Well, yeah, I think that's a thing with people. Like I feel like people don't actually. Oh God damn it!
Turn it off.
I tried to, but I have to save the thing now. All right, now it's saved. Okay, so, but some of those people don't get with like when you're following your dreams and your goals and shit like that. They don't understand the concept of like the fact that it's work. Like you know,
Work.
yeah. like
Mad work.
like a few times this week. Like I came home and I was like, "Fuck, I need to go to bed." And then I get like an email on my Snap from the website I write for, and they're like, "Oh, someone needs to cover this." I'm like, "No, not needs to, okay, but does somebody want to cover it?" And I'm like, I don't want to, but I figure like, why not?
Don't laugh at me. I got my stamp.
You got a signing stamp?
Yes, I do.
Bitch, you can't even put your signature down anymore.
It's
Fuck
so
no.
I can't take you.
Fucks no, I am no
You said
longer
my
signing
fault.
my documents as Amanda Allen. I'm signing my documents as Panda Kid, bitch. I'm legit. I waited for this moment, goddammit. Don't take it away from me.
I love it. I don't believe you got a stamp. I can't.
Yes,
I
I
Does it
wonder-
have a panda on it?
No, I would.
Ugh.
Listen, I wish.
You're gonna have to find one.
We are. I'm with it.
I wonder if iTunes will let me use Panda Care, bitch. I really wonder if I know SoundCloud doesn't give a shit, but I wonder if iTunes will let me use it.
Use a Y instead of an I.
Huh?
Use a Y.
Like Ariana's name.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's not my fault your parents don't have it.
Whatever.
This
No,
is
no
why
word.
teenagers shouldn't have babies.
Hey,
That's
hey. Don't be knocking us teen parents. You don't know
Listen,
about our lives.
Homecoming dumpster baby.
Some of us are doing fairly well with those
Well,
children.
hold on. Can you
Your
say that?
child is not that old.
Hold on, no, time out.
You're gonna be
No,
17.
time out. I want all of you to hear. What'd you just say?
So you know how there's like a prom night dumpster
Oh.
baby? My
There's two-
birthday.
Hold on, there's two conversations going on. I want to make sure that this is said. I want to make sure everyone hears this. So go ahead, Ari.
Her parents
Alright.
were really young.
Yeah, okay. So you know how there's like a prom night dumpster baby? My birthday's closer to when a homecoming would be, so I call myself a homecoming night dumpster baby.
A homecoming dumpster baby.
Yeah, homecoming dumpster baby.
iTunes will definitely accept that.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome.
Homecoming dumpster baby. That is a new wrinkle in my ass.
Yeah.
Hey, what was it? Family Guy had a song. I'm
A
just
prom
a
night
prom night dumpster baby.
Yeah.
Like that. People are fucking trash.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
legit trash.
Like you could just go to the hospital and like they will take care of the baby for it. Like like you can put up for adoption like right from the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking do that.
Yep.
Why?
Huh?
It's not.
I like
it's
my
not-
prom night dumpster baby.
Look at me.
Oh, for the love of Odin, what the fuck is going on? See, this is why I need more testosterone in this room.
Shut up.
You're right.
You're gonna mansplain to us what a vagina is called? Did y'all see that?
See what?
Oh God.
Oh, there's this thing going around. This dude, this woman
Hold
did.
on, let me just say this. Men are trash. Yo,
This
some of
woman-
these dudes are fucking. Go
did
ahead.
like a art show, but it was like pictures of like vaginas, like, and she
I saw
named it.
that.
What was it? What did she name it, Mark?
Uh,
It was like the vulva, like something. Like I can't remember the name of the article now. Shit. But anyway, this dude went on it. This girl like posted a thing about it, and this dude went on it and was like, "It's not a vulva, it's a vagina."
The Great Wall of Vagina.
No, it wasn't that.
bloke ridiculed after mansplaining the difference between vagina and vulva.
Yeah, because of the name of the show.
Amanda missed a Twitter storm after he tried to mansplain the vagina to a female gynecologist, which is even funnier.
Yeah.
And when that didn't work, he tried to mansplaining itself. Oh God. Paul Bullen from Chicago left a comment on an article about a photo series called Me and My Vulva, 100 Women Reveal All. Paul, who claims to be an editor, writer, teacher, researcher, PhD, and MA from the University of Chicago, corrected them on their various obvious mistake, tweeting the correct word is vagina. Alarm bells began ringing across the internet, but luckily Dr. Jennifer Gundner, a woman who also is a gynecologist, came to the rescue. She very politely corrected Paul, and if that wasn't enough, also included a handy diagram for clarification. She said, "Hi, I'm a gynecologist and an international expert on both their vagina and the vulva." So she actually, it's like one of those, this is like a Venn diagram, right? The little, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The circle. Yeah, so, and like basically, like, it's funny. These are vulvas. I wrote this post with a handy Venn diagram, to help people separate the two. Enjoy. Dr. Jennifer is a long-time campaigner to get people to use the correct terminology when it comes to female genitalia. She linked Paul back to a 2015 article where she wrote, "I'm sick of people forgetting the poor vulva and referring to everything in the female lower reproductive tract as vagina." But Paul was not convinced. Instead, he wrote a string of tweets proving why he was right and the expert was wrong.
Legit. He's like, it's a vagina.
Oh, God.
Because he has one.
Yeah.
Well, he is a pussy.
Well, that's what this girl was like saying because like, and she explained it to him like the outside is the vulva, the inside is the vagina.
That's because he only has a boy pussy.
He has a boy pussy.
Yeah. Dude, that is GB's favorite term. He's
Oh
like,
my God.
boy pussy. And I'm like, alright, if that's what you want to go with.
Just want to leave that here for y'all.
Oh, my God. I'm calling this episode Homecoming Dumpster Baby and the Boy Pussy. Okay.
You stealing Amanda's thunder.
I don't have a thunder.
We're gonna get into it. I want to end the strong with her topic. Some key points Paul tried to make were: I'm claiming the word vagina has two meanings. I'm addressing language use, not anatomy per se. Wait, what? Never mind.
Yep.
To summarize, many words have both strict meaning and broader meaning, species and genus. Vagina is like that. Dictionary.com waited to use the saga, helpfully linking to the word vulva, saying, well, actually, so Paul could educate himself a bit. To summarize, Paul, you're wrong. The dictionary itself felt as if they needed to get involved. Okay.
I mean, you don't have to read the whole thing.
No, but it's just funny because I want this dude to I want people to know this guy's a fucking idiot. So I guess he okay, when Dr. General pointed out that Paul had done teeny tiny bit of mansplaining accompanying her tweet with another reference for poor Paul, he seemed to be an expert on that subject too.
So it's in the like you can actually read his tweets. Like in the pictures, like it's his tweets are there.
So first off, nobody go read this idiot's tweets. Like,
I'm not.
like this dude's trash.
Sounds like a waste of time.
Fuck this nigga. And I mean that in the exact sense. He's an ignorant motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck him. I'm not gonna tell a woman what her fucking vagina looks like. First of all, if it's a woman. Second of all,
Probably looks like what's called.
what it's called. I'm gonna take your word for it. Okay, I don't have one. Like, I don't expect someone to tell me what my nutsack looks like. You know what I mean? But I'm also gonna trust the gynecologist. You know what I mean?
About your balls?
No, about a woman's vagina.
Oh my God. You're such a dick. Like, you really are.
Ariana, she's not a dick. She's a vulva.
There we go.
I am a
You're being a
vulva.
very big vulva right now.
You're being a big vulva right now.
Hella ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I see what you did there.
That was not
on
on purpose.
She's like,
It
fuck you,
wasn't. I
Mark.
promise. I promise it wasn't.
Are you vulvaless?
No.
One day we're gonna do the recordings live so that people could see what's going on.
Oh man, well that's actually we're actually gonna be doing that too.
Nice.
Because someone, I think you said it, and a few other people said they'd like to actually see the expressions and shit that like.
Yeah, because it
that goes
matches.
on.
Like it matches.
Oh god.
Do I get to put a bag over my head?
Oh
No,
my
I think you
God.
just sit over. I just think you would just sit over there because I know you don't want to be on.
Yeah, we're gonna put you in the corner.
Good.
Nobody
puts
puts baby in the corner.
She's not baby.
This is why we're twins. Sorry, we just had a twin moment.
That was great.
No one puts vulva in the corner.
What if vulva wants to be in the corner? Shut up! Me, my vulva, my vagina, and everything that goes with it wants to be in the corner.
Y'all are ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Be vulvaless. All right, so Amanda,
What's up?
you had a topic. Yeah, I
did
thought it was an
have
interesting
a
topic.
topic.
You gonna talk about said topic?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like I'm sitting there watching the dead air. I'm like,
So one day I was listening to a podcast called Jesus and Jollof.
who?
Jesus and Jollof.
What the fuck is that?
You guys
Like
know,
Jesus and Joel?
You guys know the girl from
Probably not, but go ahead.
no, it's the show. Insecure.
Oh yeah.
So not the main character, but her best friend.
I know of her.
Wait, what's Insecure?
The show on HBO with
I forget.
why am I drawing a blank?
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae.
So not Issa Rae, but her best friend.
Oh, okay, I know what it is.
So her best friend is Nigerian, and so they have this. She has a podcast, Jesus and Jollof. Jollof is a type of rice that the Nigerians make. So they had a topic about growing up, how their parents always were like, as girls, they would be like, oh, don't look at that boy. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Don't let me hear you talking about being with a guy. And then as soon as they finished college, it was like, so when are my grandbabies coming? You didn't even want me to date nobody. I haven't even been on a date. And all of a sudden I get out of college and now it's like, oh, where's my baby? So it kind of made me think back to like, what did our parents teach us about relationships? Because they were saying how, you know, their parents never said to them like, he's supposed to have communication skills. He's supposed to be affectionate. They just want them to be married. They never said the positive things you're supposed to look for in a person, or the bad things you should stay away from. They were just like, get married, have babies. Like, it was never broken down on what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like, what a negative relationship look like, those types of things. So I was thinking too, and I was like, damn, you know what, that's kind of true for us too. Like, after a certain age, you always hear women get the question, well, when are you going to have kids? When are you going to get married? Like, bro, what is out there for me to get married to? And why am I going to have kids with these people that are out here, that are left, that are single? Because half of them
that are left.
But you know what's funny about it? It's
should
like,
not be getting married to other people.
And it's funny you say that, because it's like, you know, like you say, you were told your whole life not to like interact with boys and not do that. You're
and then
an
all
adult.
of a sudden one day it's like, hey, when you're having kids.
But not even beyond
you
that.
just told me to stay away from them.
But even beyond that, it's like you don't even have any experience. Like, when in high school, you're supposed to be able to get all that shit out the way. Like,
Right.
all the stupid mistakes you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to fall in love in high school and get your heart broken, so you know how to deal with it when, like, you're an adult.
Right, so that you can pick, choose, and refuse what you know you're going to accept and what you know you're not going to accept. What you like when you're in your 30s and you're like, okay, when I was 15, I accepted this, but now that I'm 30, I'm not dealing with that. If they don't even want you to date or even look at the opposite sex, how are you supposed to know what your relationship is supposed to look like and what it's supposed to be based on? And then, of course, being affectionate to that generation was taboo, so you don't see your parents loving on each other. So then you're like, how do I be affectionate and show love to my significant other? You know what I mean? Like,
You don't.
You
sit
don't.
5 feet away.
you do. And then all of a sudden, the babies just come out of nowhere. I wish this was recorded. You guys, the looks they are giving each other right now.
I try to crawl inside of Mark on a daily basis, but he won't let me.
Yo, so she got high one night, and I'm laying on the couch, like, and she, like, starts creeping. I'm like, what are you doing? Nothing. What are you doing? Nothing. And then she, like, just, like, slowly, like, slithers on me, and I'm like, what are you doing? I want to crawl inside you. What the
No,
fuck?
I said, my exact words were, I just want to love you. And you were like, Maria. And then I was like 2 inches from your face. I was like, I just wish I could crawl inside of you.
All I can think of is stepmother. She's like, I just want to roll you into a little ball and stick you inside my vulva.
Think about that.
Like, I just want to know that, like, I'm inside your boy pussy. Like, it's like in that little itch that you feel. Like, that's me.
That's me.
Oh, God, boy pussy is the funniest shit ever. Not even man pussy, boy pussy.
Yeah.
So funny.
But so with your mother, because I feel like she was so like religious.
Still anti-man.
Yeah, like I just feel like
She is the #1 man hater I've ever experienced in my
Start bringing home women.
I asked her that one time. I was dating this guy and I was like, all right, you don't like him, you never even met him, but what do you want me to do, date women? And she just looked at me. My mom's a minister, just in case.
Okay.
yeah.
Just to give you some
Background.
on her so you could get why I said it to her and she looked at me sideways because, you know,
Yeah.
that's so unholy to date the same sex. So
Don't even tell her, just do it.
Like, anytime I'm in a relationship, anytime, it never fails. She just doesn't like the person. She doesn't say hi to them. She barely makes eye contact with them. She just doesn't like them because she is so adamant. And I understand why. She's hurt and blah, 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 blah. She's had bad experiences in relationships. But that's not the end all for everyone.
Right.
You still shouldn't have that negative outlook and pour it onto other people just because you've had bad experiences.
Like especially your children.
Right, like I've had bad experiences, but that doesn't mean I'm going to forever have that mindset that all of my relationships are going to be that bad. I still have hope that something magical is going to happen one day. Maybe not. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. But I still have hope for that. So she was on this whole spiel, and I'm just like, you know what? You want me to be a lesbian? And she just looked at me like, she's like, Amanda. I was like, Chrissy. I'm that kid.
You know what you should do?
I'm that PK.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should go to your house one day, and I'll just sit in the car and I'll record it, and then like just knock on the door, holding hands with Maria.
I'm so game.
And then like
Dead ass.
She'll probably have a heart attack.
I would probably kill my mother on site, but I'm game. I'm willing to run the risk. Maria, when do you want to do this?
I can't stand you.
Mom, I'm in love. This is the woman of my dreams. And I'm gonna do it all excited like that. Mom, I want you to meet someone. This is Maria. I just proposed to her. What do you think?
Oh god, yeah, you can use the ring.
It's all nicely dipped now.
Yeah, it's all like.
I need it back.
You gotta get a ring back. It'll be like all like brand new and shiny. Oh god.
I'm game. You game, Maria?
I'm not killing your mother. That's bad juju.
You're not killing her. I am. And I'm gonna be like holding your butt because you know I like your butt. Can I grip her butt?
As long as I get to watch, cool.
Yeah, you're gonna be in the
You're
car.
watching from the car.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Recording and saving for the spank bank.
Yes.
Ew, you're so gross.
So what did you guys learn from your parents about relationships?
So, I don't know if you heard me and my niece giggling while you were talking.
I saw the giggles.
Yeah.
I didn't really know
Oh,
what they
man.
were for, so you can.
My
definitely
mother
feel
is a special kind of breed of woman that you don't want to
Special.
put anything behind. Like, she taught me nothing. She taught me
I would say,
what I didn't want to be.
Yeah, I would say that we pretty much with our family dynamics that we just kind of learned what not to date, and
Yeah,
what
like-
not to do in relationships versus what they told us to look for. Like we just learned from their experiences,
Examples.
which were all shit.
How does one explain Sharon?
Don't yell at Bob. Don't be an ad.
Like,
Don't be an ad.
no, my mother is like very like, sorry Sharon if you ever listen to this, but you probably don't know how to use the computer.
Yeah.
Probably don't have cable at the time, so it doesn't matter.
I find it very entertaining.
My
I
mother-
her first name.
Oh, Sharon?
Yeah, I do the same thing. With my
Sharon.
I can't. I call my mother Ma.
No.
Renee.
Autumn.
Well, I don't speak to her at all anymore, so there's that.
So my mother.
Actually, no, I'm lying. I call my mother Granny.
Yes,
My grandmother
you
is
probably
my
call
mom.
her Granny.
So.
So Sharon is very like verbally abusive.
That's
My stepdad, I would have killed my mother like years ago.
Yeah,
I would
he's
have put a
the
pillow
same.
over her head. He's like, yeah, like that poor guy takes so much shit, like
He's
so
not going to
much.
heaven.
He's like, if there's a heaven, he's in all
Yeah,
of
like,
them.
he's
Whatever
there.
God's heaven he wants to be in, he's
Yep.
there. Like Sharon's. I watched my mother picked up a dude one time. She picked him up and threw him down the stairs. Dead ass. So that's why I laughed when you talked about that, because Sharon is special. Like, my stepdad, like I said, he's great, like, but Sharon has dated some special people and done some special things.
You know what's crazy? I had a mini version of a conversation with my kids the other day about my toxicity that I've done to men in relationships, and they were looking at me like I was nuts. And that's why I said, I tell you guys all the time, your mother's not wrapped too tight. But I'm going to be honest with you about the things that I did. I'm not proud of it, and I'm not giving you ideas for the future. These are things you should not do to people at all for no reason. Because now that I'm
Wow, you
older
be doing
and
some janky things?
girl, I'm still kind of shady, but I'm still shady.
I was
And after
like,
I
how
do
was
my
any of that shocking?
shadiness, I check myself like, damn, you really should not have done that.
Stop
But
it.
it felt good at the moment, because I'm not gonna lie, I definitely react off of emotions first.
Yeah.
And I think after I done did some shit to you, and then I'd be like,
Oh my god, you
My
guys
mother's
are
like that.
twins.
I'd be like, damn, I should have never did that. They deserved it, but I should have never did it. So I definitely do have those types of talks, because people fail to realize that women are toxic too in relationships,
Oh yeah.
and
I'm glad you said it because I
they
can't
don't acknowledge
Why
it.
can't you say that?
Yes, you can say it.
Why
It's,
can't
it's a
you?
fact. You're not bringing women down.
You're using common sense. I can't say that because there's some woman is gonna go, oh, he's man. Here's another thing. There is a such thing as mansplaining, but you can be a man and have an opinion on something. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Without it
definitely
being
agree.
mansplaining.
The article, the guy was mansplaining. You having an opinion on something is not mansplaining.
You're using common sense.
There are toxic women out there that do toxic
definitely.
shit in relationships.
Her name is Sharon.
Like lying and saying you're pregnant so you could get money for an abortion. That's toxic.
I've seen
as
that
fuck.
before. I don't know. Sharon's probably done that.
This is one of my biggest pet peeves with women. I don't care how any of you women feel about it when I say it, but blaming your bitchy ass attitude because you're on your cycle, I think that is such bullshit. You've had it for how many years now? You're not accustomed to yourself as a woman? Like, just keep yourself away from people. I'm not in a good space right now. I just need some time. Communication is fucking key.
That's what she does.
Like, if we want our men to communicate to us, why can't we communicate that to them? I hate when women use that shit. Oh, I'm on my period. I feel like a bitch. Blah, blah, blah. No, Karen, you're just a bitch. How about
Stop
that?
it, Karen.
Stop with the bullshit ass excuses. You're just a bitch because you're a bitch. Don't blame it on something that you've been having for the past 25 years of your life. I'm sorry. Prepare yourself. You know it's coming. Are you tracking it on the calendar? Get your ice cream. Get your chocolate. Get your medication. Get your heating pad. Miss me with all that. I'm sorry. I hate it. I hate it. When my friends be like, I'd be like, bruh, you want some eggs or something? Because we ain't about to do this. We not. I'm sorry. That's toxic as hell to me. There's a lot of things that we do as women that are toxic. And I feel like once we get into bad relationships, all of a sudden, all men are the worst. Don't do that. Horrible. Don't do that to your friends. Don't do that to your family, your relatives. If you have bad, negative experiences about relationships, don't bash men for the rest of your life. That shit is toxic as fuck. Yes, a lot of men may fall into the category, but then there's the little bit of men that don't fall into the category. Very toxic. So, I don't know.
So I have a story, but I wasn't sure if Ariana, if you had something like a specific anything to talk about how like the relationship with your parents, or like I know.
The giggles have returned.
Because all I can think of is Randall and Autumn's relationship, and how would that even be remotely?
Like, just all of
So
their
even just
relationships.
watching your parents' relationships, what have you learned from it that you had to be like, damn, that shit's not okay, or damn, that is okay? Like, what did you pick and choose and refuse to use for your own?
So hold on. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I gotta hear this.
Okay. Well, for example, my mother purposely seeks out, like, will not date a normal man who, when I say normal, I mean, like, has a job, has a car, tries to have his shit together. Or not even, like, a car, but, like, gets his, like, shit together. You know what I mean? She loves the guys who try to run the street, think they're, like, top shit, but they ain't, and they're just selling a bunch of drugs, but, like, they think they're, like, baller over there, but they're fucking shitty.
But her mother isn't gangster like that either.
My mom's an educated woman.
Like, yeah.
Went to college, owns her own house, owns her own vehicles, doesn't depend on any dude for shit. But as soon as she just loves dating guys like that, like her whole life.
She likes to be a builder-upper.
No.
Yeah, no, but they don't even build. Like,
no, they don't do shit. They don't do shit.
So she likes the drama.
Yes, she
loves
purposely
it.
seeks it out. And they also tend to be, like, abusive and this, like, into drugs and drinking and just, like, but she doesn't do drugs. But, like, they will be associated with drugs. And if you're into that, you're it, man. Like, that's her shit.
It's crazy.
And they all have to be black guys. All black guys.
Her mother's white.
Yeah, my
That's
mom's
why
white.
she's so
Is that what Autumn is?
Yeah, well, she's
Portuguese, but
Yeah.
she's like, she's on the white end of Portuguese. Like,
Because I was thinking, I was like, I know she's not just straight white, so I couldn't try to figure out what else it was.
Yeah, she's Portuguese. Yeah. And just, like, purposely. So I'm just, like, seeing all of that. I'm just like, no. I refuse to date anybody who thinks that they're, like, I'm like, on the street. Like, I sell, like, a bunch of shit. Like, fuck a job. Like, fuck school. Fuck the system. Like, type shit. Like, I don't do that. Like, I will not. Like, you have to be, like, educated or, like... Granted, I've had, like, bad experiences, and I've learned from that, like, based off of, like, wow, I'm kind of turning into my mom right now. I don't want to do that. Like,
I don't
yeah.
want.
But, like, I catch it and I stop it. Whereas, like, she was just like, no, I love it. More red flags. Let me keep going. Yeah.
More red flags.
Yes. She's like, this is it. This is the one.
I don't mind the fuck the system people. I'm kind of with them on that. But
I feel
there's
like
levels to it.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen people that are, like, posting on, like, social media, and they're just like, I didn't need to go to school. Fuck school. I'm just, look at all this money I'm making doing this shit. But they're selling drugs and only drugs.
That I get.
Like, that,
Because
no.
sometimes school isn't the end all.
Right.
You could be very educated just because you don't have that document.
I agree with that.
But then there's those people, like you said, They're like
That are
fucking
just
Those
straight up
people,
trash. Yeah.
I can't associate like with that.
They got their schooling from the life of hard knocks.
Yes,
like that type
exactly.
of dude.
Yeah.
Like I learned on the
Knocks.
street. Yeah, but usually they're really not like.
Right.
No, they're like they ain't shit. Like, they're
Yeah.
just- Like you live in this fantasy world that you think that like you're like
I feel like with your mom too, like she repeats the cycle.
yes.
So like her mother like dated my brother, who is a retard.
Yep.
He was
He
gone
also has
doing the
poor
same
choice
thing.
in women.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
Jesus
horrible,
Christ.
horrible choice in women.
The last one was a stripper. Now he's dating a 70-year-old woman because he's in prison and she brings him all the shit he wants.
Yeah. Yes.
Dead serious. Look at her face. See?
Girl, that's just a
you have
surface.
no idea.
That's just
Amanda.
a surface.
Like, there's like a whole iceberg. That's why we were laughing.
Should I read the poem?
No. God, no.
Because I wasn't doing a dramatic reading.
Like,
of
our
bullshit.
family really, they're like, you know how Mark talks about like trash people? Like, our family's like trash.
like legit.
Like, we should
trash.
write a book. I tell her all the
I
time,
keep-
me, Ariana, and my cousin Jamie, if we just all sat down combined.
I have
would
been,
have the
I have been
best
telling
experience.
them, I have been, and I'll tell this to you, Ariana. I said it to Maria, and I said this to Jamie. You guys need to sit down in a room and just talk.
Yeah.
Do 3 hours of audio, and I will write that shit.
Yeah.
I can make it. I can make it a.
Our family's so fucked up. It's
Yeah.
just-
We'll talk. We can talk.
It
about
could be
off
a
air.
series. That's how sad it is.
Yeah, we can talk about it off air.
So yeah, so when it comes to like learning anything about relationships, I guess it was like the
What
viewing
not
it.
to
It was
do.
like what not to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
this,
my mom.
this is not what I want for my life.
Yeah. Like my mother like immediately like moves men into the house and just lets them like take charge. Like they're like, oh, I'm in charge of this household now. And I'm like, who are you? What's your name? You're like 5 years older than me. That's great. So my parents are young too, so they're like, my
Yeah,
mom's
they
like,
were 15, right?
yeah, my mom's like 41, and her last boyfriend was like 28, and I'm 24. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, you're not.
We
telling
do
me
need
shit.
visual.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, I have a job and you don't. What is that? Who are you trying to tell me what? Like, no, I'm good. Yeah,
Damn, just when you think you got shit back.
yeah.
This is why I kid you not. This is why I do the 5-in-1 with you guys.
No, I know.
So I don't know if Maria has ever told you, but I have them doing the 5-in-1.
Oh, I told her about it.
5 things you're grateful for and 1 thing you like about
Yeah,
yourself.
he texted me that and I started doing it.
I do this every day with them because you gotta just be thankful for the little shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
So hold on. So I'm texting some people and asking about this
I'm
topic.
thankful. You're asking them what?
I'm asking
About the
people
topic.
what topic to talk about. So friend of the show, Just Greg, just said, my dad told me not to trust women.
See,
Like,
that
our
shit's
generations were fucked up.
toxic. But we're fucked up because the prior generations were fucked
Fucked
up
up.
because the
Like,
prior
they didn't
generations
love each other. Yeah.
Like, it's always just being passed down, and that's horrible.
So,
because
I mean, it sounds like you're changing the cycle, though, with your kids. You're
I would
being
like
honest
to.
with them.
I would definitely.
Have you ever,
to.
like, sat down and talked to them about what they should, like, look for or what they should...
All the time. We do it in joking. Like, as a kid, I was very rebellious. You would never be able to tell that. Because they always would be like, well, if you don't know how to cook, you're never going to keep a man. If you don't learn how to do this, you're never going to keep a man. So I honestly and purposely, for spite, would never sit down and learn how to do anything domestic. I hate anything domestic now. I want to do it because they'd be like, I'm not learning to cook to keep no man. Why can't he cook for me? Is his arms broken? Like, that has been... I didn't learn to cook until I was like 24, 25.
Wow.
Kid you not.
Really?
And I had my first son when I was 19.
And now she has our son cook, and he's better.
And he's a
He
better
said-
cook than
she's
I
like,
am.
he's better than
I'm
you.
not even gonna front. He is a better cook than I am. And to this day, I still don't like cooking. If I don't have to cook, I'm not. I cook because I have to feed my kids.
Right. It's
But
for some people and it's for
Right.
yourself.
Sometimes I'll get home and my son already has dinner cooked, and I'm like, yes, yes. Or he like, cause I work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I do get home, like I'll take the food out and I'll season it, and he'll cook it, and I'm like, yes.
You did
what I
have
do.
you did have to work though. Half the work is seasoning it.
Not really.
Yeah, that's half the job.
Yes, it is half the job, but the other half is cooking it and looking over it and making sure it don't burn.
That's the fun
all
part.
of that. I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
That's the fun part. You
Not for
kidding
me. Not for me.
That's why I put all my shit in one pan. Mark be cooking things separately. He'll make stir fry, like cook the meat separate. I'm like, throw it all in a pan. You fucking stir fry, Mark. That's the whole point.
Like I get 2 pans. I take 2 pans. I'll put the veggies in one. I'll put the meat in the other, and then like just when they're about to like finish cooking, I dump it all in one pan, and then I mix it all together. So like they're getting seasoned separately, and then they get seasoned together. So
you
like,
and Mari could talk that mess. I don't care.
So now, here's the funny part about it. So Greg said something else. His mother, on the other hand, said, and my mom always told me to invest in someone who really cares and takes care of me like I should her.
See?
And it's funny, on 2 opposite ends of that, you have 2 different people saying 2 different things. Like, you know what I mean? LaToya, I had to ask her.
Oh, hell yeah. I wish she was here, but next time.
So hold on. I'll tell you what she said, and I asked her, so I asked her, she goes, if you're not in love, don't force it. Don't let there be so much of an age deficit. So I said, you should have been here for this. How quick can you get here? She goes, I'm in bed with a dick in the other hand. I'm not going anywhere.
Listen, I ain't mad at you, girl.
Yo, I fucking love Toya. She's fucking great.
So she got flowers at work, so he's getting flowers at home.
What I like to tell
what part of the vulva is the flower?
The flower is the vulva, Mark.
The flower is the vulva? The flower is the vulva.
I try to tell them to just I basically teach them like how to be a functioning human in society. I tell them basically they're not always going to meet someone who is going to have the same strengths as them. So, and that's fine. I said, if you like to cook, maybe your significant other might not like to cook, you can cook for them. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't believe in gender roles per se. I believe in just picking up the slack wherever you fit. So I try to teach them everything that I know, and I try to teach them things that I don't know. So that the things I don't know, we can learn it together. The things I do know, here you go. And you pick and you choose from that what works for you and what doesn't. Simple. So whoever you find, I tell them all the time, just don't let them hit you as long as they're not hitting you, because that's not love. I don't care what people say. Oh, he hit me, but he bought me a gift after. He hit you.
Yeah, I know.
Stop the whispering. So I give them that.
I'm hoping
and
one day
I tell them,
she'll punch me during it.
I tell them, make sure that the person respects them and they respect the person back. Like there shouldn't be no name calling and downgrading each other. I don't know.
No, that's good though.
No, it is good.
Like I feel like I never had like a talk. Like my mother never talked to me about relationships ever.
I talk to
like ever.
The things we talk about.
Your poor kids. She like Snapchats them. Like she'd be like forcing them to hug her.
I do.
Like, she'd be like all their business, and they'd be like, "Mom," and she'd be like, "What?
I hate it.
Have I told you I love you today?"
I do it to them because I didn't get it.
Yeah, listen, my mom doesn't even hug me or tell me that she loves me. She never has.
I make my mother hug me now,
and
I make her hug me for a long time because she doesn't like hugging. Yeah. I hate hugging too because I never got it. I didn't get the whole "I love you." Like we just didn't get loved.
I hug Amanda every chance I get because I know she hates it.
I hate hugs, and I tell people all the time, if I've hugged you, write that shit down.
What's funny about it is now she's accepted it. She hugs me every chance she gets.
I don't hug every chance I get. I just deal with it. Yeah. I just deal with it. I definitely hate hugging, but it is what it is. Like you gotta, like you said, we gotta break the cycle. So I teach them all of that. In the morning, like all day, I call them handsome. I call them beautiful. I call them smart. I tell them they're bright. The other day, I gave them credit just for being kids. I was like, "You guys drive me nuts."
Can I call you mommy?
I know.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Is that how it works?
I tell them just randomly the other day. I was like, you guys drive me nuts, but y'all some damn good kids because I work in the field with kids and I see some stuff that is like I would have caught a case already. And I tell them, I'm like, I'm thankful for you guys. You might fight sometimes. That's normal. You might be lazy sometimes. That's normal. But you're not hitting me. You're not cussing me. I don't get calls from the school anymore. Yo, there was one year I got a call maybe like 3 times a week from my daughter. I drop her off to school now. The disciplinarians are giving me thumbs up like, y'all don't know how that makes me feel as a parent doing this. I give them their praises. I don't care what people say like, oh, that's their job. They're supposed to do that. So what? Everybody, little or small, likes to hear good job. Mm-hmm. It makes you work harder. And then I didn't get that as a kid. All my life as a kid, I was told I looked like Whoopi from The Color Purple. So how does that make you feel when Sugar's telling Whoopi, you sure is ugly? You don't feel pretty. I tell my daughter every day, have a good day, beautiful. Fuck yeah, she's dope as shit. You're supposed to build them up.
Her daughter,
household sounds great.
her daughter is though. She you should see her. Like
It's like
she
Ava.
like yeah.
Like how Ava's weird.
Yeah, like very like.
I
look good.
My oldest, like, I feel like I learned to be a mom with my twins, which is fine. So a lot of the stuff I should have done with my oldest, I didn't, but I do it now, and he hates it. He'll come home from work,
like, why did you
and
have
I'll
these
grab
children?
him, and I'll hug him, and I'll wrap my leg around him, and I'm massaging his hand. He's like, get off! And then the other two jump in, and I'm like, yes! Family hugs! Hugs! And he's like, ugh, you're so different. And then he leaves.
So different or
Different.
Because she wasn't like that as much when he was
steady
young. She was
calling
like-
me different. Like the conversations I'll have with the twins, he'd be like, really? You're different. And he'll leave.
well, and
Because
fun
I'm
fact,
just so
fun fact
blunt
for
and
you,
honest with them.
the first kid's a crash test dummy.
Yeah, he definitely was a crash test, but he made it. He's about to be 17. We good. We both made it.
So would you guys?
Is he driving yet?
We drive together. He has his permit. Our goal was for him to get his license this in January, but it didn't work out there, which is fine. You get your permit for what, 2 years?
Yeah, you can drive for a while.
So yeah, I even talked to him about relationships. I'd be like, you know, I don't got no girls calling me like, yo, Stein, did it. I said, so you probably doing a good job right now. I said, ain't no boys calling me neither, telling me you stole their girl or they like you. I said, so we good. Like, I don't have any problems with this kid. And I told him, I was like, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
He might just be scaring the shit out
Does
of
he
you.
have a girlfriend?
I don't know. He said he would never tell me.
He's all quiet about it. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, because he's afraid you'll get out the car. And be like,
Yep, he'd probably be embarrassed. I told him, I said, whoever you bring home, girl or boy, don't let them be ratchet. Just don't let them be ratchet. They need to be able to have a conversation.
like, speak appropriately. Yeah.
Yes. I
Be
don't want
polite,
nobody
be good
with
manners.
sagging clothes. Right. Be proper. Like, I'm not raising you to be no bum. So you need to be proper. You go out there, you say good morning, good evening, good night. They need to come in this house with good morning, good evening, good nights. Yes, ma'ams, and the no, ma'ams. Yes, please, and the no, thank yous. That's not how you were raised. You don't bring home something that you weren't raised to be like. Simple. They just have to match that. Manners
Okay.
and respect take you places money can't. If they don't got that, don't let them come in my house. Plain and simple. That's how I operate.
No, that's fair.
I
That's
make my brother's girlfriends hold hands with me when he holds hands with them.
Oh.
She try to hold hands.
No,
I have
she
two
went to
brothers.
his like birthday
15th
party,
birthday party.
and his girlfriend was there, and she's embarrassing as fuck. Like legit, she was holding his other hand while she was holding the other.
Yeah,
the
I was like,
girlfriend
oh,
holding
you
the
guys
other
want to
side.
hold hands? I want to hold hands too. Let's
Yeah.
do it. I love
She's an
this.
asshole. I was like, why would you do that to him? She was like, what?
Devin
She wanted
loves
to
me.
hold his hand. I was holding his
He
best
loves
friend.
me.
It's
My 10-year-old talked to me more about dating than my 16-year-old.
I talk to my brothers
Really?
more about dating, I feel like, because, like, I feel like it's more important just because of all the negative male aspects that, like, we've seen in our lives in our childhood.
Yeah.
I think it's important for them to know how to treat women and, like, to be respectful because they're not taught that from anyone in my family.
Yeah.
So I talk with them more about dating. I'm just like, listen, don't be disrespectful to women. Like, you always just, like, just treat them, you know, kindly. Like, don't be degrading.
yeah,
and,
but you
like-
also have to give them the other piece. Like, don't
No, I
do
know
that.
that, yeah.
accept-
Some ratchet ass
No,
bitch
we
who
talked
thinks
about
they're
that
gonna
too.
pay
Like,
for
we don't want
everything.
some girl who's just gonna, like, you know, just like kind of mooch off of you.
Respect
Like, we don't want
things,
that.
yeah.
Like, everything's 50-50. It's all about respect. It's all about doing things together. Like, it's not just put, like, all on you too. Like, but you should, like, take some time to, like, you know, do something special every once in a while. But
Yeah.
like, talk respectfully to women. Like, don't be one of those stupid dudes out there just like
I tell
slapping
my
some
boys-
girl's butt for no reason.
To treat females how they want a man to treat their mom.
Yeah.
That is what I tell my boys. I said, if you don't want, or even your sisters. I said, you got sisters. Like my son has a sister from his dad. Both of them, they both got siblings from their fathers. And I'm like, just think of it that way. I even tell my daughter, I said, if you don't want a girl to ever hit your brothers, don't hit no man.
Yeah.
Not even that. But I feel like if you hit him, this is open game, baby.
Greg actually has actually been saying that he doesn't understand the concept of that because he goes, and it's something Whoopi Goldberg says. She goes, I don't
I
believe
saw
in
that.
it. She goes, I don't believe
People
in a man
are
should hit a
mad.
woman, but she goes, everyone needs to keep their hands to themselves.
Yes, and I tell her that all the time. Even when they are fighting in the house, like my son will say something to her and she'll snap and she'll hit him. I'm like, now if he hits you back, don't be mad. you should have kept your hands to yourself. Simple. Keep your hands to yourself. I teach all my kids that. You keep your hands to yourself until they put hands on you.
That's fair.
Wow. So I asked a buddy of mine, I go, what did your parents teach you about relationships? He goes, they didn't.
And
No,
that's
I don't
sad.
think kids did. That's what I'm saying. Did
They
your
didn't.
parents teach you?
Our parents didn't.
Your like, what did you? Well, I mean, besides your dad.
Oh God! So I
My father did.
When me
hold
and
on,
my
hold on. Let me tell the story. Let me tell the story because there's a lot to pack in here. So
not lots of packets.
there is not just your story, but just like in general with like my parents. So I remember because you know where I live, you know where I live. Like there's a church across the street from the house.
Mm-hmm.
And one particular day there was a couple who happened to be getting married. Really was a slimmer guy with a really big girl. And at that age, you're like, when kids are around you, it's like your mom's so fat and this and that. And so I asked my mother, why would you date someone? And she was just like, love is love. It doesn't matter what they look like. If you love someone, that's all that should matter. Like, you know what I mean? So that was something my mother instilled with me, and she always. So even when I would bring a woman home, like it was more about the character than it was anything else. It had nothing to do with like their look. She was just like, if you thought there was a shitty person, they'd be like, you're a shitty person. They're a shitty person. I dated my first girl I dated. She wasn't an attractive woman. She was okay. Like, you know what I mean? She wasn't like a 0, but she wasn't like really attractive. So the next girl I dated, my mother was like, you stepped up. But she didn't say how. I assumed it was a physical thing, but I think it was more about like the quality of the person in general. So my mother's idea of relationships when I was younger, this is why there's a lot to pack in Maria, was different. Like she taught me love. Well, on the other hand, my dad, we were driving home one day, and I was around the same age, and out of nowhere he says to me, "You better not bring any white girls home."
You know what? I heard a topic on the radio about that.
So at a young age, like that's all I heard. So, but it didn't just stop with like white girls. It became a thing where it was just like, so does that mean I shouldn't like talk to white guys? Like, should I just not trust? You know what I mean? So that was like embedded in my head for like years. So I missed out on a lot of opportunities because of this. The current job I work at, I end up being forced to work with people of other races. And like, you know what I mean? Now that I was an adult, I had my own state of mind. I knew like the difference between right and wrong. I started thinking about the things my dad told me, and I was just like, "Fuck!" I missed out on all like so many different experiences because
like hockey.
Yeah, honestly, yes, yes. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't watch hockey because I thought it was a white boy thing. You know what I mean?
I'm just kidding.
I'm being serious though. Like, I'm being completely transparent right now. Like, that's something like I would watch hockey when it was on Fox, and then when I heard my dad and my mother coming in, I would change the channel.
I feel like that's like how people like always stereotype that basketball is like for black people, that every black guy's gonna be good at doing fucking basketball because it's black.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So then as I got older and I was like, and I would meet a white girl, I was just like, well, I would like there was one girl that I was messing around with, and she goes, well, I can't mess around with you because like, you'll never really accept me because I'm white. And it wasn't anything I told her, it was just the way I reacted to her. Like, you know what I mean? So that ruined a lot of things. Now, Maria, as she said in the podcast, she's half black, she's half Cape Verdean, half white. Like, you know what I mean? So, fast forward, go back, my dad, we're sitting in the bar one day, and around my job, and we're drinking, and in the same sense of, like, this came out of nowhere, he said to me, I was completely wrong for telling you to never date a white girl. He goes, and he didn't say anything else other than that. He just left it at that and just said he was completely wrong. For my dad, that's more emotion than he's ever showed in his life. I don't even remember him telling me. I don't think my dad's ever told me he loves me. He's told other people, but he's never told me. Now, the roles are reversed now. My mother now is an angry, bitter drunk. And that's me saying it nicely. She's hated Maria before she even met her. My dad, I was 25 when I met Maria. He was like, "You're too young to be in a serious relationship," and used the
Sawyer Royal Oats.
Yeah, Sawyer Royal Oats quote from Coming to America. And I'm like, yeah, I've done a lot of that already, Dad. He's like, well, no, you haven't. I'm like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, huh?
It's like your boy was a hoe.
I was. I told him that. It was funny one day. He goes, "You need to learn the art of cunnilingus." I'm like, yeah, I'm good, Dad. So, look, I'm good.
Yeah,
The
why
word.
would Dad even say that to you?
Men have crazy conversations.
Yes, it
That's
is.
just gross.
So Jelani, you know Jelani. He just said, my mom told me verbatim, "Be happy and don't end up with a crazy bitch."
Oh, that's fair.
That's
My dad would. He said my dad would concur. So so my dad would say that, but he thought I wasn't living my life, and I was. But then he met Maria. Once he met Maria, he told me it was just like, he was like, I love her, like she's great. And the weird thing about him is he's a bit of a bitch, so he would never really say that in front of my mother. He would say it to me, but he would never say it in front of my mother.
He still won't.
Huh?
So he still won't.
No. So here's the thing: as time's gone on, my mother said something about my dad before we got married. You know, it was like right around the time that like we were when we were getting married, and my mother said something. My father was like, "Stop! You need to get over this." He's like, "They're in love. They're getting married. Maria's a really good woman. She treats him right. They treat each other right. They're in love. You need to get over whatever issues you have." And like this wasn't my dad who told me this. Like my little sister texts me and goes, "You're never gonna believe what Dad just did." And she told me, I was like, "Oh."
He stood up for himself.
No, he stood up. No, he didn't stand up
He
for
stood up
himself.
for you, yeah.
He didn't stand up. No, he stood up for you.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's one of the few, like, and my dad, I don't know if you noticed this, like, he sees you and he smiles.
Yeah.
Because he's happy.
He's
Like,
always nice to me.
yeah, like my dad always, one of the things I got from him was like, which is funny considering he's always told me to keep my cool, and I don't. So, but in terms of relationship, that's where like those two things come from. Now, my mother now is just out there. I don't really deal with her. My grandmother, who has been like my mother for all of my adult life and before, she accepted Maria day one. Like, you know, there was no... She never really talked to me about relationships and things like that, but she did teach me that, like, you know, do things that make you happy. Be with people who make you happy. She met Maria and fell in love. She was like... Then she said to me, like, don't mess this up. She's a good woman.
Oh, that's so great.
Little did you know.
That makes me feel
Mess.
Yeah, but no, his mother though, like, still, like, to this day doesn't really, like, but I don't understand it. Like, I've never done anything to her. I've never.
It's not for you to understand. It's
It's
something
so
for
crazy.
It's her.
Oh no, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Like
with my dad. My dad. I don't think my father ever gave me relationship advice. It was my uncle he was my favorite uncle. He died. His outlook on relationships were the 3 F's. Find them, fuck them, forget them.
that's where you got your advice from.
Yeah.
Oh.
My uncle was like, don't do it. Find them, fuck them, forget them.
And see, like, but like, what did that do to you? Do you think?
I found them, I fucked them, and never got them.
Yeah,
I
like
did for years, and I kind of think I'm back on that.
So, my buddy Ken, he goes, don't put your hands on women. Treat every girl the way you'd want someone to treat your mom. Try your best.
yeah, but his mother, like, she's a saint.
My father tells me I'm too much like him when he was younger, and I don't have patience to take people's shit.
I mean, you shouldn't have to take people's shit though. To an extent, like, right, like shit.
Nobody's perfect.
Shit in relationships
Have
happen. Like, yeah,
right.
We bicker with each other all the day. We were bickering today.
I know. I saw.
We love it.
Like when I was getting married, he was like, "Don't do it." I was like, "Okay."
And you did it.
I did it. I was like, "Oh, dang, I'm getting divorced." He's like, "I told you. I told you, you're too much like me. You can't deal with people's shit." I don't. I have very little tolerance for adults.
Yeah, but you have to put up with some people's shit. You realize that, right?
I do. I'm
Like,
working on
do you
it.
want to, like, what are you doing? Unless you're living by the 3 F's, like you said, for the rest of your life. That's kind of hard when you're, like,
But
70.
Well, when I'm 70, my vagina ain't gonna be getting moist for nobody no way, so it won't matter. They're gonna be rocking in
They
the
have
chair
gels
together.
for that? What?
Really?
And,
They
like,
have gels, they have ointments.
Old bitches be, old bitches be getting it in.
Listen, I don't know.
I'm gonna get it in until my hip pops out.
Listen, one day I might be focused back
Like, I
on
can't
all
even
of
feel
that.
it anymore.
As for right now, my focus is my business and traveling. So as for right now, I'm chill. I'm content with the whole single life. It's great.
I also think people have this weird thing where they're like, oh, well, if you're single, you're lonely. It's like, no.
No.
I don't think so.
You don't know how many lunch dates and breakfast dates I've had by myself where I'm just like, yo, the bill's cheaper.
I think that's great, honestly, because I feel like I'm younger than you guys, and I feel like a lot of people in my like group are doing this whole like everybody's so preoccupied and like focused on like finding somebody, and like people are getting married now and like trying to have kids, and like everybody's so scared to be alone. I feel like for everyone that I talk to with my age group, and like I'm just like, no, like I'm in a good spot with just like being happy being alone and like getting to know myself. And I think it's hard for people to be okay with being alone with themselves,
Right.
especially like everyone that I know at least are just like, no, you should be going on dating sites and you should be making like a plenty of fish and a Tinder. And I'm like, oh my god, like I'm all
It's
sad.
so weird. I had 2 conversations with 2 separate people. So my tax lady, she told me that she's on dating sites, and she asked me if I've ever been on one. I said I downloaded an app once, and when the guy told me that he's a masseuse and he wants to give me a massage, and he'll start off with a full body massage and then he finishes me off, I was done. I got off the site immediately and I never went back on.
What were you on?
What Tinder?
Like Tinder?
Tinder.
That's a fucking
Everybody
site.
uses
I didn't
That's not to be
know.
dating. Tinder's like swipe left and right for fucking sex,
That's okay. I
bitch.
won't go back on it. I
That's-
have no plans. He scarred
She
me.
tried it. She
That's the
didn't
3F
like it.
site.
Why you
Girl.
getting mad at her? She didn't know.
I didn't know.
So, no, I have a question. Here's a good one. So I'll ask Ariana this first, because I want to see how we'd all react to if the roles were reversed, like younger as opposed to... So how do you think your relationships would be different if you were our age as opposed to your age? Do you think anything would have like changed, or... Because I think, like, I know for us, like with like the advancement of like the internet and the idea of like these apps like Tinder and stuff like that, I think our relationships would have been different. You know what I mean? Do you think
Why?
anything would have been out? Well, let's explain. Do you think yours would have been any different?
Like if there was no such thing as like...
Like, you mean like growing up, like you guys already being in my age group, when it was like for you guys dating versus like
Yeah.
what it's like for me now?
So like if you were like in high school in the 90s, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, so honestly, I think it would have been better than what it is right now. Because, see, I'm the type of person where like I can't just like go on Tinder and like see somebody on there and be like, alright, I'll just fuck you, and like that's it, and then like not have like a meaningful connection. And I feel like back in that like day when you were going to date, like you didn't have the internet to just try to get to know somebody and talk to them or text them through the phone. Like you had to actually meet up with them and like hang out with them and talk with them and have conversations, and like you were forced to have that
Like
interaction
face-to-face,
face to face, and it was more intimate that way, I feel like. Versus now, you can just text each other within like a day and answer all these random questions about each other without ever seeing each other, and then just meet up and be like, alright, I'll bang you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people it works for, like, that's great. I'm just saying, me personally, like, I don't like that, but like, I feel like I would have appreciated like dating the way it was before than what it is now.
I think that like app dating isn't that successful. Like,
No.
we know like Fletcher met his wife,
Yes.
but like that's rare. Like I think that's very, very rare to meet somebody that you actually date.
it's a little more common now than it was, like, I would say.
I know it's more common, but like, okay, I had this conversation with this girl that I work with at my old job when I worked, the one that I just left.
Kim or Charlotte?
No, neither one of them. She had been on all those dating sites.
Obviously.
She was on all those dating sites and stuff and swiping and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, but she was looking for a quality relationship. She met her now boyfriend at a bar, randomly, when she was out with her friend. So many people are like this on their phone and doing whatever. Nobody's socially interacting anymore. And when she actually found somebody of quality, it was her out socializing.
Yeah,
her gay friend was like, and they went out and he saw him. He was like, he's a really good looking guy. She was like, yeah, he is good looking. And he sent him a drink from her. She
That's
didn't know.
funny.
She went to the bathroom or something like
That's
that.
funny.
He sent him a drink, and when they came back, like the guy like started talking to her, and he left. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go home now. I'm kind of tired. I'm beat." And like they started talking, and that's how she met him. That's a real life situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like how I met you. It's a real life situation. I don't think I could be on a dating app.
Yeah, I
think
that way.
I like personal interaction. Like I want to know what you're about before, and not through text. because I don't believe in text.
I mean,
you know that.
but if you think about it, like our first real date, like not our first real date, our first interaction, we talked on instant messaging for shit, like a couple of hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but I mean, I talked to you when I was wasted, but
I feel like,
I remember talking to you, Mark, kinda.
I feel like there's a difference though, because you guys, yes, you may have messaged each other in like instant messenger and everything,
But I
like
saw you
today
in
for
person.
people like in my group, like they literally just like message each other. Don't even necessarily have to go on like a real date. They just go to one of other's houses and they're like, oh, I kind of know you. We just talked for like a whole day or two. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that's
I ain't gonna laugh. That's kind of how we did. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was
She's talking about like just like hooking up though, like.
Yeah, like nobody
okay.
even, I feel like, even really wants to do like real
Relationships.
dates anymore. Like, I feel like relationships, it's either like they're getting into relationships with people, and I mean, I've been seeing a lot of them like crash and burn because it's like so instant. I think with us, it's like more instant. Like, everybody wants it like instantly, everybody's just instantly getting married, like they're not being together very long, and then they're just like going about that route. You know what I mean? Everything's instant
I
gratification.
thought that became less though, no?
No, because I feel like it's either that or everybody's just out doing their own thing. So I
Yeah,
feel like
like,
there's no in
yeah.
between. There's no like happy medium. Like
There's
it's either one or the
definitely
other.
instant gratification.
Yeah.
So how would you deal with like? Do you think if you were younger in this like generation and stuff like this, like, do you think it would be easier? Like, do you think it'd be easier, more difficult? Like, if you were, you are 24, you said, right?
Yeah.
So if you were like 21 to 24, like right now, how would you?
I'm 12.
Yeah, you're 12. In our heads, you're 12 years
You're
old.
11,
How would you deal with, like, do you think it'd be easier for you to, like, meet somebody, or do you think you'd thrive off of stuff like this? Because I kind of feel like we'd both be in the same boat right now. Like, if we were both single at 24, we'd be swiping right, fucking, and telling them to go home.
Probably, yeah. I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know.
You're having
I don't
a
know.
Really?
I feel like that age group right now, the 20s, social media is like running their lives, and like she said, it's the whole instant gratification thing.
You can call it our
Yes.
I'm like, this. You've heard the show. We're not exactly professional. You know what I mean? So.
The instant gratification is definitely in that generation. So I don't know. I'm a socialite. I'm always meeting somebody somewhere somehow.
Do you feel like you've met most of the guys that you ever dated, right? Like just out and about, like, or
Yeah.
through other people, right?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever met somebody off of a dating site?
No.
Would you like consider it like an eHarmony or like something like one of those ones that like matches you up with your perfect like match?
Probably not. Are those pandas?
Yeah, it's a panda with things.
Oh, we call her Panda.
Oh,
We don't
That's
call her
why.
Panda. Everyone
Well,
calls her
yeah,
Panda.
like everybody.
I just
calls
love
her
that someone like
Got
randomly
Panda
calls you
Care
that.
as her business, so it's like right now she's just transporting and babysitting, but she's soon gonna open it like mega.
We're waiting for the.
We're
Panda
waiting
Care
for it,
Empire.
yeah, the
Panda
Empire,
Care
so
Empire.
It's in progress.
Yes.
I do have a full-time baby at home.
No, it's not her baby.
Yeah.
She was like,
I'm like, really?
No, I do not want any more children.
I don't want any
will
kids either.
adopt.
I don't want any more kids either.
I'll adopt. Shut up. Mom.
Wade's enough.
I'm your adoptive
She's
child.
really difficult.
Yeah, you kind of are our adopted child.
Yep.
You're that child that I said would never fucking leave me alone.
Oh, you know what I wanted to jump on when you said about your dad when you never bring home a white guy? So I was listening to the radio one day and they had a topic on how would you feel if your child brought home someone of the opposite race? And one of the hosts on the show, she's mixed. I think she said she was Asian and black or Asian and white, something like that. So she was all for it. Then there was one person that was like, they're completely pro-black and they believe in black love. And they don't want their child to bring home anyone that's not black and blah, 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 blah. I get the pro-black thing. I get it all, like, people having bad, negative things to say about black families and them not having, like, the love and stuff. So I get it. But then there's also telling your kid, don't bring home someone of the opposite race, and then there's having preference.
Yeah.
So which one is the borderline of racism? Is that being racist, telling them, don't bring home someone of the opposite race, or is it a preference?
Well, I was actually I've actually heard a lot of that recently. Killer Mike actually talked about that on the Breakfast Club.
It was on the Breakfast Club that I heard it on.
It was probably Killer Mike talking about that. But he also
He
brought up
wasn't on it, but it was just the host. It was
Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and all that.
And
'Cause
that
I know
girl.
DJ Envy's mixed, and so is Angela Yee.
Yes, that's her name, Angela. Yeah, she's, she's Asian and white or Asian and black.
Asian black.
Okay.
So here's my thing about that. I understand someone.
Well, obviously you're a race traitor.
Yeah, I know. So, but like, I understand when people say,
I'm just kidding.
it's weird because I don't agree with someone saying only bring someone home of your race, because you find love where you can. Like, you know what I mean? Who the fuck am I to tell someone like don't love someone who's not black? Who am I to tell someone don't love someone who's the same sex as you? Who the fuck am I? Like, I'm not the expert on love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one is. Like, you love what you love. Like, your DNA, like, you're born a certain way. Like, you're gonna find certain things attractive. Like, there are men and women. Like, I'm a homosexual male. I'm a heterosexual male. I think Ryan Reynolds is attractive. I can see men and go, they're attractive. I don't want to fuck them. What's up, Ryan Reynolds? I'd fuck Ryan Reynolds.
Except for Ryan Reynolds. I fuck Ryan Reynolds.
But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can still find them attractive. I can find other women attractive, but I'm married. I'm not gonna fuck them. Like, you know what I mean? If I see, I've seen ugly men with amazing women. I've seen amazing men with ugly women. Like, you know what I mean? And they're happy. Who the fuck am I to judge? Like, you know what I mean? And there's this whole thing was like, well, our races are gonna like be dwindled out. I'm like, so what you're telling me is you're upset with the races mixing? Because if that's the case, eventually we'll all just be a world of just people.
Yeah.
We don't need to be defined by. This is another thing. I'm a proud black male. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of Marcus Garvey. I'm proud of Thurgood Marshall. Like, these, like, you know what I mean? I'm proud of like the things we've accomplished with, like, you know what I mean, with the shit we were given. Like, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that I don't understand the idea of equality. That doesn't mean I don't understand the like someone, like, if the races weren't mixed, I wouldn't have my wife. You know what I mean? You don't get Holly Berry. You don't get
I mean, do we need her?
Yes, she's a baddie. She looks so good.
Like, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? She's a terrible actress. She's really bad. But it's like,
thank God she's pretty.
But like, but there are all these things like you don't get if you don't mix races. Like, so am I just supposed to eat soul food? I'm not supposed to have oxtail. I'm not supposed to have like Chinese food and stuff like that. Like, it's like
you're getting all loud and shit. Tone it down. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, not you. But it just really not you. I'm not looking at you. But it just annoys me when people really have this like hate for love. It's fucking stupid.
So, I'm gonna say one thing. I think that some people.
That's two things.
You guys are both assholes.
I fucking hate you. I think that some people, though, I get what they're saying in a sense. They don't want they want to keep their family culture alive. Like they're. No, wait. No, I'm not saying anything bad.
No. But no. I'm gonna wait till you're done because Ariana wanted to say something, and my memory's terrible. So
no,
I'm
that's
gonna
okay.
forget.
I just feel like
like
my like Kathy's a perfect example to use with something like for this topic of conversation because like she didn't want my mom to date anybody that was color. Like it wasn't like a thing. Like they didn't mix or anything on her side of the family. So when they found out that I was going to be born, it was like a horrible fucking thing. Like she wanted my mom to get an abortion. She's like, she's never going to make it in a world like this. And then I was born being like this. So she was like, oh, she's fine. But then when my brothers were born, she was like, oh, what am I going to do walking around with like a black baby? Like I'm going to look weird. And like that was like her main concern. Or like my father said it to me one time too. He was always like was saying how he wanted me and my sister to date black men because he didn't want to walk around if we had children with children that were white because he was dark.
Well, fun fact about he'll never walk around with them.
I don't mean it in that sense though.
But no, I understand what you're saying.
I mean
because,
in the sense of
the culture.
Like even your family's culture. If your whole family. I understand why some people say it like family. Even like I don't know much about like I do know about my heritage, but
they have
you're not letting me finish.
With them being mixed though, like because we weren't going to be a part of that.
It's hilarious. Me cutting you off.
No, because I think you're losing what I'm saying.
But my point is going to agree with you though.
No, okay. Can I finish though what I'm saying first?
I'm gonna remember this next time you cut me.
Okay, never mind.
Go ahead.
No, it's gone.
I was just gonna say I agree with your point. Like you, but I think
Did you even know what my point was?
You understand about
you lost it. So how do you?
Yeah. So how would you know? But
cultures, such as in like certain like celebrations, certain things that certain cultures do. Like some people say stuff like that because they want to keep because people are starting to dwindle out, right? Like tribes, like of people, like different cultures. They're just like gone. You know what I mean? Because they come to America, they become Americanized. They lose the language, they lose the culture, they lose everything. So I'm not saying it's appropriate, but I'm saying I could see why a mother or a father might say to their Jamaican daughter, to marry someone Jamaican so that they can keep their culture alive. And the Jewish people do it, because they want to keep Judaism alive. They want their people to maintain who they are because they're proud and they're strong about it.
So here's my
I'm not saying that it's necessarily
that's not
appropriate.
That's not what I was going to go on. Everything you said was the point I was going to make. But my point being with that is that's up to the parents. Example. There are things you still remember from your father, the things that he taught you. There are things that you told him. If we had kids, there would still be things that you would teach them about the Cape Verdean culture. So
yeah, but I don't know.
Can I finish?
That's the point, though.
Can I finish?
Go off of what you were saying.
That's what I'm saying. So, example, there are things that I would teach. Like my own father taught me about Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. So and that was to him that was really the epitome of what it meant. Being proud of who you are, not settling for anything else less than who you are. Muhammad Ali is a big part of my African American culture. You know what I mean? So I would have taught my kid. Huh?
Nothing. Good.
He's black though. He's a black male. I'm sorry, because he's. So. Yeah. Thank you.
No, I know.
So can I finish?
Go.
Can I finish?
She whispered over in the corner.
Because you whispered.
Go.
So you teach these things. So the problem being, it's not the kids. It's not the mixed races. It's the parents who aren't instilling these same things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it had nothing to... So when people say, oh, well, my coach is losing, I'm like, okay, well, what are they teaching their kids? You know what I mean? So, you're Honduran. You teach your kids about Honduran culture. You want to take your kids to Honduras. You know what I mean? So,
But that's because my mom lost it when she came here. She doesn't embed it into us. If I'm not around the Honduranians, then I really don't. I'm not really embracing it. I teach the kids punta. I barely teach them Spanish. They know about the food. They know about enchiladas and baleadas, arroz con pollo, tamales. They know all about that. But if it was from my mother, we wouldn't know it. My dad hangs out with them hard. So when we're with him, they get to hear the Spanish. They get the foods. They get to know about flor de caña. Even though they're kids, they shouldn't know about rum. But it is part of the culture. They know about conchibo. They know about the bushes. So if it's, like you said, it's up to the parents to pass that down. My mother doesn't pass that down to us because she's in the church. She does the church thing. She doesn't do the whole socializing with the culture. My father, like I said, he hangs with them hard. Mm-hmm. So it's different.
So it's almost like religion. I take it in the same sense with religion. When you have Baptists who pass that same religion down, where it's the family, the church family, things like that. And I agree with you. I agree that.
No, I don't. I'm not saying it's necessary. I think people should marry and date whoever the fuck they want.
Oh no.
I don't believe anybody should. I mean, I've dated completely different. I've been in different. I don't look at people that way.
I have mixed feelings about it. I completely understand where they're coming from with the pro-black thing and try to make the black family strong again so that we don't look like we
trash.
We don't have people, successful relationships. I look at a lot of successful marriages that are around me that are black, and I'm like, they're doing what they should be doing. But I also like the fact of intermingling. I've seen cultures where the husband was Colombian and the wife was British or something. I like to see the kids growing up.
You like to see what we look like.
I like the diversity and what you guys look like.
I like that you got that white girl hair but brown skin.
But that you can teach your kids that there's more to life than just that little bit.
It's true.
You know what I mean? They get to experience different things, and I think that's how we should be raising our children. That there's more outside of the world than just this. There's more.
Agreed.
So then the kids that are growing up in multiracial homes, they get that experience of life. They're not.
No, I get it. I used to work with this nurse. Her husband's Muslim and she's Jewish. It's crazy, right? Yeah, he's Muslim from East, he's from Pakistan. He's Muslim. And she's Jewish. She's Jewish. She looks Jewish. They had some family issues. But she's very much about love who you want. She's actually a really good person. You would like her. She and she's older too, so you have to think she's in her 60s now, I believe. You have to think that No, she might be in her 50s, actually. Yeah, 50s.
Tell her to come on the show.
She also was from a time where, like, it was even more, like, of a problem, more disrespectful, more whatever. But they both teach their children, their children celebrate, like, Muslim holidays and Jewish holidays. They go to temple and they go to, like, you know...
They're
like,
both temples.
Yeah, like, they're both temples. But, like...
I babysit for a Jewish family, and they were telling me how one of their cousins is Christian and Jewish.
Yeah.
Like, they celebrate Christmas and they do Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
But what's funny about that is...
Well, they do... I was going to say, they do Christmas, too. Even though, like, neither one of them have that faith. Mm-hmm. Their children, like, they're American. They grew up in America. Like,
one of my cousins, she's Christian, and she married a Muslim. His family disowned him, so he converted to Christianity.
Yeah.
And what's funny about that is like, you have these... It's funny because you have, like, this Jewish and Muslim couple. And what they've done is they've taught their daughter two separate, like, religions. That's beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, that's one of the other things about, like, mixing races and things like that. You're bringing two things together that could be absolutely beautiful. So I don't see what the problem is. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't see it.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying...
But I just understand sometimes, like, why people say certain things like that. I'm not saying that it's socially, like, that you should.
I'm not saying that in general. I know you're not.
I can understand the point of wanting
it to stay the same.
So that, like, you have that family, like, unit.
But
like,
I don't think mixing the races can, like, changes that. I think it's really up to the parents to, like, really make it a point to, like, talk about their race.
To instill it.
Like, you don't know anything about, like, our family culture because your family never brought you.
I mean, I do because I was my dad, but that's it.
Right, but, like, so like, here, okay, so, like, you don't, like, do any of those things, though, right? Like, I don't know any of that stuff from you. You know what I mean? Like, you never taught me anything about that. So, like,
I think we should book a ticket to Cape Verde and
just go.
Yeah, do the tourist thing so we can learn about y'all culture because I've heard such beautiful things.
Oh no, the Cape Verdean culture is like a beautiful culture in general. I know most things about Cape Verdean culture because I was like old enough.
See,
you know nothing.
I don't know anything.
And your father's a shitbag.
Yeah, and I wasn't brought her. You didn't bring me around there either?
Do you want me to make you scrub the floors and shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Like that's what I did when I was a kid.
What was childhood was like, what are you talking about?
Well, we got a floor now you can scrub.
She would
my house
my
kind of
hair.
dirty.
She'd be like, that doesn't hurt. And like hit you with a brush, like, move your hand, that doesn't hurt.
Because your hair had to be done, bitch.
But you're one of those.
That sounds like black culture to me, don't it? I remember when I had
because I wouldn't let her go in raggedy hair.
I remember when I had
about that.
You don't let your kids run around looking like animals.
My brain. Like, it was fine.
That's how it goes. Like, when I used to, like...
Karen, you need to brush Amy's hair.
When I had hair, and, like, I had, like, my little... Like, I used to have a little fro or whatever, even when I had waves. When I was younger and I didn't do it myself, my mother...
Was that when you were like 15?
Huh?
Was that like when you were 15?
Fuck off.
When was the last time you had hair?
19.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You want to make those jokes? you want to go there? You really want to go there?
I never had hair. Shut up.
Oh man. So yeah, that's been the Old Man Wade Show. We're at an hour and 21 minutes. I didn't realize how long we were recording. So yeah, thank you got something to promote, Amanda?
Panda Cat, baby.
Go on the website.
Hey. On Facebook, it's Panda Care. On Instagram, it's Panda Cares for you.
Spell that, please.
About to. Give me a second, bro.
Now.
PandaBeares, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com is the email. And if you take off the @gmail.com, you'll find me on Instagram and Facebook.
Promote Queen's Day?
Queen's Day. That's coming up March 23rd. It is a vendor show, so there'll be a lot of local vendors from the Boston area who are going to be promoting their craft. It is March 23rd. Tickets are $20. It will be held at the Boston Teachers Union. What time? I think it's 6 to 9. I believe it's 6 to 9. Yeah, it's a really good show. Vendor showcase to go to. Support your local entrepreneurs.
Ariana, got anything to promote?
Nope, I don't do anything. But thanks for letting me be a part of this whole experience.
We were supposed to do this a long time ago. Every time we go, we went to the cave. We were supposed to do it. It didn't happen because we were drunk.
Yep.
We were supposed to do it again last time we came here, but we were drunk. So I guess it was good we
I
did
see a
this.
pattern.
I'm glad I'm glad we recorded this because I'm about to get drunk.
You're leaving.
Huh?
You're leaving.
It's
Not
not
for
6
nothing.
yet.
This is Galentine's weekend.
Galentine's. It's Valen Guys weekend,
Yeah.
alright? Get that shit together. Valen Guys.
I had to get my own date because my husband was going to be with his husband, so.
Fucking right I am.
We forgot to get Valentine's Day candy.
We got a cake and we got chocolate covered pretzels and enough alcohol to like last us
Survive the apocalypse.
Yeah, like we're good.
So I want to shout out the Retro Redoctopus podcast from my boy Steve. I also want to shout out the Mixed. I know I'm going to get this wrong, so I'm actually going to go look it up. It's the Militantly Mixed podcast from my homegirl Charmaine. It's basically a podcast. She brings in people of mixed races, and they talk about the struggles and the advantages and things like that. She actually would have been great to have it on. Also, shout out to the Mocha Minutes and also the Why So Serious podcast. Thank you guys because they support me. I want to support them. The great podcast to listen to. So, that's all I got.
Okay.
Oldmanwade.com. Make sure you go to oldmanwade.com. That's where we have all our podcasts. Articles are coming soon. Javi has an article out about the dumpster fire that is Trump, and he talks about the State of the Union and what it really is and why it's important, and also why it's kind of stupid. So make sure you check that out on oldmanwade.com. That's all I got. Can I get a damn it, Wade, from you, Ariana?
Damn it, Wade.
Maria, can I get a damn it, Wade?
Nope.
Damn it, Wade!